Stop everything you are doing right now. I literally cannot believe what I just read regarding the moves being made by the front office in Indianapolis. We are talking about a major shift in the defensive secondary and a surprising decision regarding a star cornerback that will change everything for the season finale. Before I reveal the specific names and the breakdown of these transactions, I need you to do me a massive favor. If you bleed these colors and want to stay updated on every single move this franchise makes, hit that subscribe button right now. Leave a like on this video and drop a comment below with your name and the city where you are watching us from. We want to know how far our fan base reaches. Keep it quick because we have a lot of ground to cover regarding this new signing and the departure of a veteran offensive lineman. Now, moving into the heavy details of this situation, I am reporting that the Indianapolis Colts have made several roster adjustments as they prepare for their regular season finale against the Houston Texans. The most notable move is the official signing of a versatile defensive back to the practice squad, a player who carries a very famous last name in the NFL world. This decision comes as the team simultaneously released a tackle who had been brought in for emergency depth just weeks ago. The context of these moves is centered around the health of the team's elite defensive backfield. Our sources indicate that the star cornerback, who has been the anchor of this defense, unfortunately re-aggravated a serious calf injury during the recent clash against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Consequently, the organization is expected to shut him down for the remainder of the year to prevent long-term damage. This is where Wyatt Ekeler comes into the picture. Wyatt Ekeler, the brother of Washington Commanders star running back Austin Ekeler, is the newest addition to the Colts defensive room. Standing at 5'11" and weighing 210 pounds, Wyatt Ekeler brings a unique blend of athleticism and physicality to the secondary. His journey to the professional level is fascinating, having played his collegiate football at Wyoming for 5 seasons. What makes Wyatt Ekeler particularly interesting is his transition from a high school star running back to a high-impact defensive player in college. During his time at Wyoming, Wyatt Ekeler appeared in 48 games at the Division I level, showing incredible durability and versatility by playing both free safety and nickel corner positions. When you look at the raw statistics, Wyatt Ekeler was a productive machine, racking up 197 total tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 4 interceptions, 15 passes defended, and 3 forced fumbles. His 2023 campaign was especially impressive, earning him an honorable All-Mountain West selection. The Colts are currently in a position where they need to evaluate young talent for the future, especially with the playoff race out of reach. By bringing in Wyatt Ekeler now, General Manager Chris Ballard is clearly looking for players who can compete for a spot on the 2025 roster. If Wyatt Ekeler shows flashes of potential in practice this week or in limited snaps against Houston, he is a prime candidate for a reserve future contract this offseason. This move was necessitated by the unfortunate injury status of Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is one of the premier talents in the league, but calf injuries are notoriously tricky for cornerbacks who rely on explosive change of direction movements. After Sauce Gardner went down against the Jaguars, the coaching staff had to rely heavily on depth players like Cameron Mitchell, who played 65% of the defensive snaps in that game. With Sauce Gardner likely headed to the sidelines for the finale, the addition of Wyatt Ekeler provides essential insurance and a fresh look at a prospect with high upside. On the other side of the ball, the team had to make a difficult decision to release tackle Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas was signed only 2 weeks ago during a period of extreme crisis for the offensive line, as both Bernhard Raimann and Braden Smith were battling significant injuries. Zach Thomas, a former 6th-round pick originally selected by the Chicago Bears, has had a journeyman career with stints on the Los Angeles Rams and New England Patriots rosters. Despite his experience appearing in 14 games last season for the Patriots and Texans, Zach Thomas did not see any game action during his brief fortnight in Indianapolis. The return to health of Bernhard Raimann was the deciding factor here. As Raimann recovers from his elbow injury, the need for a veteran backup like Zach Thomas diminished, allowing the front office to use that roster spot to explore defensive back depth with Wyatt Ekeler. However, the offensive line remains a point of concern. The Colts have dealt with a revolving door of injuries across the front 5 all season long. Even with Raimann returning, the team must be cautious. They are facing a formidable Houston Texans pass rush led by Will Anderson Jr., and protecting the quarterback remains the top priority even in a game that doesn't affect the playoff standings. The decision to release Zach Thomas suggests the team is confident in their current active blockers, but it also highlights the ruthless nature of NFL roster management. Looking ahead to Sunday, the matchup against the Texans represents more than just a season finale. It is a live audition. For a player like Wyatt Ekeler, this is the opportunity of a lifetime to prove he belongs on the same stage as his brother Austin. The Colts secondary will be tested early and often by C.J. Stroud, and seeing how Wyatt Ekeler or Cameron Mitchell respond to that pressure will provide Chris Ballard with crucial data points for the upcoming draft and free agency period. We must also consider the financial implications of these moves. By utilizing the practice squad for Wyatt Ekeler, the Colts maintain flexibility. The salary cap situation in Indianapolis is generally healthy, but every dollar spent on reserve players is a dollar that must be accounted for in the long-term vision. If Wyatt Ekeler can develop into a reliable rotational safety or a special teams contributor, he becomes a cost-effective asset that allows the team to spend big elsewhere.
Meanwhile, the departure of Zach Thomas closes a very short chapter in the team's history, but one that was necessary during a week of injury panic. The loss of Sauce Gardner for this final game cannot be overstated from a tactical perspective. Sauce Gardner often eliminates an entire half of the field, allowing the safeties to cheat toward the other side. Without Sauce Gardner, the defensive coordinator will likely have to play more zone coverage or provide more over-the-top help to the younger cornerbacks. This could potentially open up running lanes for the Texans or one-on-one opportunities for their receivers if the Colts secondary isn't perfectly synchronized. Wyatt Eckler has the physical tools to help, but the learning curve for a late-season signing is steep. In conclusion, the Indianapolis Colts are ending their season by looking toward the horizon. The signing of Wyatt Eckler represents hope and development, while the injury to Sauce Gardner serves as a reminder of the physical toll of the NFL season. The release of Zach Thomas signifies a return to stability on the offensive line, even if that stability is fragile. As we head into the weekend, all eyes will be on the defensive backfield to see if the Eckler name can find a permanent home in the Circle City. The coaching staff will be watching every rep, every tackle, and every coverage snap to determine who stays and who goes when the 2025 rebuilding process begins in earnest next Monday. It is a time of transition, a time of evaluation, and for players like Wyatt Eckler, a time to shine under the bright lights of the professional stage.